Dear learners, we have started the topic ghee, and we have seen lot of information about ghee. We have seen the history and introductory part of ghee. We have seen the definition of ghee, definition according to PFA rules 1976. We have seen the composition of both cow milk and buffalo milk. Then we have learned the various ghee preparation methods, creamery butter method, desi butter method, desi ghee, then direct clarification method, pre-stratification method, and the continuous method. So we have already learned about all these methods. We have seen how all the methods are different from each other. We have seen the difference between all the methods. We have seen the ghee preparation by the desi or country method, and this is the flow diagram that we have already seen in detail. Then creamery butter method, we have also seen or we have learned about the creamery butter method. Then direct clarification method, merits and demerits of direct clarification method, and this was the pre-stratification method. So we have also seen in detail about the pre-stratification method and their definition. And in this lecture we are going to see in detail the various defects found in ghee. We have seen the various methods, and when the final product is obtained and when the final product is observed, then we will find some defect in it. Defects, it may be flavor defect or it may be texture defect. Now the defects are classified into two groups. One is the flavor defect and second one is the texture defect. Flavor defect is again divided into various defects such as smoky defect, overcooked defect or undercooked defect, rancid flavor defect, oxidized or oily or metallic defect, whereas the texture defects are again divided into greasy texture defect, colored burnt defect, sediment high burnt defect. Now the question arises how these defects are formed in final product. Suppose if the ghee is showing the smoky flavor defect, in that case what will be the cause for this smoky flavor defect? If smoky fire is used for the boiling milk or converting milk into ghee, in that case that ghee will produce a smoky flavor. Now the question is how to overcome this defect. To overcome this defect, that is the flavor smoky flavor defect, we have to use non-smoky fire. If the non-smoky fire is used for converting makhan into ghee or converting or heating or the boiling of milk, in that case the final product, that is the khowa, that is the ghee, will not have the smoky flavor. So in this way we got the cause for the smoky flavor, that is the they if the smoky fire is used, the final product will give a smoky flavor. So we have to use the non-smoky fire, so the final product, that is the ghee, will not have the smoky flavor. Second one is the overcooked, burnt or undercooked flavor. So meaning itself indicate the cause for this flavor defect. Overcooked means if excessively high temperature is used for the clarification of ghee. In that case, that ghee will give overcooked or burnt flavor. And to avoid this overcooked or burnt flavor, we have to use the optimum temperature for the clarification of ghee. And if it is the undercooked, it means that the optimum temperature is not used for the clarification of ghee. So to overcome this defect, that is the undercooked defect, we have to use the optimum temperature for the clarification of ghee. It means that to avoid overcooked and undercooked flavor, we have to use the optimum temperature of clarification of ghee. So the temperature should not be higher, the temperature should not be lower. So we have to maintain the optimum temperature to overcome this flavor defect, to avoid this flavor defect, that is the overcooked or undercooked. Second defect is the rancid. Rancid flavor is developed due to the fat hydrolysis. Fat hydrolysis due to lipase action in milk or cream or curd or butter or kacha ghee. So how to prevent this defect? Just we have to inactivate this lipase enzyme. If this lipase enzyme is inactivated, then it will not produce the rancid flavor. Or using the optimum clarification temperature, or packaging in small containers for retail sale. So these are the few remedies to overcome this rancid flavor. So to avoid or to prevent the rancid flavor, we have to inactivate the lipase enzyme, we have to use the optimum clarification temperature, and we have to pack ghee in small packages. So these are the three important prevention measures due to which we can prevent the formation of rancid flavor. Next flavor defect is the oxidized or oily or metallic flavor. This flavor is developed due to the fat oxidation, and which is due to the direct contact of milk or curd or the cream or butter or ghee with copper or iron, and exposure of this product to sunlight. If these products are directly exposed to sunlight, then it produces the oxidized or oily or the metallic flavor. So to prevent this defect, the number one point that is to be remembered, that is the storage of milk or the curd or cream or butter, ghee in properly tin or aluminum alloy or stainless steel vessels. So we have to pack these dairy products in aluminum alloy or stainless steel vessel, so it will not produce the oxidized or oily or metallic flavor. Then filling ghee up to the brim so as to avoid any headspace. So we have to prevent the formation of headspace. So there should not be the headspace between the lid and the content, whatever the content, that is the ghee. So it will not produce the oxidized flavor. Then avoiding the storage of ghee at high temperature. The ghee should not be stored at high temperature. It means that above 21 degrees Celsius. So the ghee should be stored below 21 degrees Celsius. And we have to not to use the salted butter for the preparation of ghee. If we are using the salted butter for the preparation of ghee, again that ghee will produce the oxidized or oily or metallic flavor. Then avoiding the long storage of ghee. There should not be the long storage of ghee. And storage of ghee in opaque container. So opaque container should not be used for the storage of ghee. So these are the few flavor defects which are commonly observed in ghee or found in ghee. So what are those flavor defects? The smoky, overcooked, undercooked, rancid, oxidized, oily or metallic. Then let's see the texture defects. Texture defects are greasy, color burnt and sediment high burnt. Now we will see how the greasy texture is formed in ghee. If the ghee is rapidly cooled after the clarification process, so again this ghee will produce a greasy texture. So we have to avoid the rapid cooling of hot ghee after the clarification process. So slow cool, there should be a slow cooling. And again the second cause for the greasy texture is subjecting ghee to further heating and cooling treatment after the preparation. So again the ghee should not be heated. So if it is again heated, then that ghee will produce a greasy texture. So we have to avoid the further heating and cooling of ghee after the preparation. After the ghee preparation, that ghee should not be heated again. So if we heat again, it will produce a greasy texture. Color burnt. As we have seen in a flavor defect, that if the ghee is heated excessively or excessively high temperature of clarification of ghee is used, so that will produce a color burnt texture. So again here we have to maintain the optimum temperature. Sediment high burnt. Incorrect staining of ghee or excessively high temperature of clarification of ghee. If that ghee is not clarified properly, then it will produce a sediment high burnt. It means that that ghee will have some burnt particle, or that is the ghee residue particles, and which will produce a sediment high burnt. So correct staining of ghee, that should be a correct staining of the ghee, and for this purpose we have to maintain the optimum temperature to avoid such defects. So these are the defects. Number one defect, flavor defects, and second defect is the texture defect. The flavor defects are again divided into the smoky, overcooked or undercooked, then rancid and oxidized or oily or metallic defect, whereas the texture defects are the greasy, color burnt or sediment high burnt. So these are the defects which are commonly observed in final product, that is ghee. So we have to take care of all those causes, so we can easily prevent the formation of such a defects in the final product. So thank you very much for listening my lecture. I think the point have been cleared. The point has been cleared, and you got a meaning of all the defects. What are the different defects? Okay, so thank you very much.